Hello, I'm David Buckland, CEO at Montgomery Investment Management, and this series of interviews with Gary Rollo or his business partner Dominic Rose, we're going to get down and deep into the Montgomery Small Companies Fund. Launched on the 20th of September 2019, the Montgomery Small Companies Fund has just had its 20-month anniversary, and in the period to the end of May, it's turned $1 into $1.42, while the Small Ordinaries Accumulation Index has turned $1 into $1.18. So Gary and Dominic's excellence has seen outperformance of about 24% after expenses. What I've liked in this fund, which is currently $100 million and currently has about 50 stocks in it, is that Gary and Dominic know right down to the minutiae the segmentation of their growth stocks, their cyclical stocks, their resource stocks and their safety stocks. And today I thought I'd get Gary just to focus on two growth stocks which happen to be telecommunication stocks. One is Macquarie Telecom and the other is Uniti Corp. And for those that are interested, I started writing about Uniti Corp at 20 or 25 cents and it's currently around about $3 on our blog, rogermontgomery.com. Both Macquarie Telecom and Uniti combined have about 7% of the Montgomery Small Companies Fund. And Gary, maybe just a quick couple of minutes on each stock.
Sounds good. Thanks, Bucko. Okay, telecoms. In small caps, it's been an area where there's been lots of value added and created, so we like to focus in on that sector. Those two stocks you mentioned, they have a couple of different big drivers. With Uniti, it's really been a story of the market realizing that that is a telecom infrastructure asset with really long life assets. That business model with the long life cash flows, that should really be quite coveted. And so our angle there was you have a great management team that have developed business models like this before in the telco sector, run by Mick Simmons and Vaughn Bowen. You had a good collection of assets that had that long-term visibility of cash flows, but the valuation regime was all wrong. So we've been sitting waiting for the right valuation regime to come along, and as you mentioned, at $3, that's now starting to arrive. So we're quite happy with the performance of that one. Macquarie Telecom, yes, the name is Telecom, but the value driver there is actually data centers.
Yes.
And the key driver of data centers at the moment has been the adoption of cloud technologies by corporate enterprises, so banks, lawyers, all of those companies out there that are using that type of technology today to, improve the way that they use IT in their business. And also governments, as we look at what's happened through COVID, for instance, the government's kept functioning. All of those folks who work for the government, they've not been going into the work, they've been actually operating at home. So cloud has been a significant driver of business and commerce through COVID, and data centers are where the cloud lives. Macquarie Telecom's angle has been you've got another key individual or a couple of individuals that have run that business. They've, a great management team, been together for almost 20 years. They have great assets, and the key thing is that those data centers are expanding. And so whilst the story with Uniti has been about the right valuation regime emerging, the story with Macquarie Telecom is about look at how fast the earnings grow. So both these companies, they've been sitting in our portfolio. Uniti's been one of those stable compounders. We're very certain about the cash flows, the right valuation regime emerging. For Macquarie Telecom, Dominic and I often have arguments, is it a stable compounder because there's certainty of the income streams coming from the data centers, or is it the growth? And for us, that's a great argument to have. So both those names still in the portfolio, and we think they've both got a bright future. So
thank you, Gary.
Happy with that.
So as I said, ladies and gentlemen, those two stocks combined aggregate to about 7% of the Montgomery Small Companies Fund. And as I also said in my introduction, what I'm going to do is every month I'm going to either interview Gary or his business partner Dominic Rose, and we're going to get down and deep into the Montgomery Small Companies Fund, and hopefully that 24% outperformance that they've attained in the first 20 odd months of its life can continue for a long time to come. That's all we have time for this week. Please continue to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to call us, Toby Roberts, my colleague, or myself, David Buckland, on 02 8046 5000. Thank you.
Thanks.